Hey guys, what's up? I said that I would be back with this video, and I am, and this is basically the first impressions and review on the ColourPop pressed eyeshadows. I'm so excited to try them out on camera for the first time, to see how they work, fallout wise, if they're smooth, if they're creamy, if they work well, if they're not patchy, stuff like that, the whole shebang. As you can see, I have my base already done: eyebrows, foundation, concealer, powder, highlight, yada yada yada. I already have that done because I just want the main focus to be on these eyeshadows. I will do swatches of all of these shades at the end of the video, but for right now I'm only going to be using sort of like just a select few. I'm not really sure which ones I'm going to be using on my eye. This is just a little experiment that I'm doing here, but we are just basically going to test out these shades, test out these colors for the first time on camera, hence the point of this being a first impressions video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now you guys are like super up close and personal. I need to do something with my hair. I'm just going to tie back parts of it so that it's not in the way. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and prime my eyes. I'm using the last bits of this Urban Decay Primer Potion before I crack open the new one that I just got. And I know some people with these first impressions are probably like, why aren't you trying it without a primer? See how it works without. But I like to try products out with how I'm going to actually use them. Oh, that was a lot. I like to try these things out with how I'm actually going to use them in real life, because I feel like there's just no point in, seeing if it works well on its own, but if you use a primer every day and then it doesn't end up working with the primer that you use, what's the point? Now that the lids are primed, I'm going to be taking the eyeshadows. I'm going to be I feel like I'm gonna try and stay in this sort of really neutral sort of area. So the first color that I'm going to be taking is Crisscross. I'm going to be taking a random fluffy brush. This one's from BH Cosmetics, and I'm just going to be taking that up. So I don't know if this is an issue with it being powdery. I feel like it is. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you know how sometimes when you pick up product and then there's a lot of excess product on here, but you know how there's a lot of excess product, so that sort of kind of tells me that they're just a little bit more powdery. But I mean, hey, it can really honestly happen to any shadow. Really what determines the factor of me is how well it works on the eyes. Just going to be taking this and putting it in my crease. Oh, I took a lot. So, pigmented. And I didn't even feel like I really dipped my brush in there. That's a great sign. So let me close up on my eyes and see if there's anything super noticeable. The color blended out seamlessly, blended out great. There aren't any patches or any flakes on my eyes. Also, a good note, I have not experienced fallout. Now taking a Sigma E25, I'm going to sort of deepen up the crease. I don't know if I can deepen up the crease with this color, because this seems like a transition shade in itself. This is top notch, but this seems like it's a transition shade all on its own, but I will use it to sort of begin to deepen up my crease. Okay, so from my perspective, it did do a little bit of something, but what I would say is that Top Notch is more of a transition shade, not really something for me to deepen up in my crease for my skin tone wise. If you are of a lighter skin complexion, I think that it would work nicely for you, but for me, it's just, it's a transition shade. It's not something to deepen up the crease. A shade what I'm hoping will deepen up the crease is this color right here called Popular Demand. Ooh, I like it. And I think the final shade that I'm going to be using, well, not final shade, but final shade for like crease colors, is this shade called Cloud 9. I'm not mad at how that turned out. I'm really not actually. I really like it. Now, as for a lid color, I'm going to take this shade right here, just because it's been looking at me, which is called Come and Get It. And it's like this beautiful sort of like pinky, like rose gold sort of shade almost. Like, I don't know if you can see how like it reflects in the light, but it's like ridiculous. Let me see if like it changes like with a finger application, like me applying it with my fingers. Oh yeah, wait a minute, it's turning more pink. Oh my gosh, it's literally like with your fingers it's a completely different story. Like it's turning, it's pink. It's more pink than it is gold when you use your fingers. But yeah, that's kind of crazy to me, like the sheer fact that with the brush, with a dry brush, it was just that regular gold, whereas when you applied it with your fingers, it was definitely more of that pink that you see in the pan. Like that's pretty crazy. I'm going to do my lower lash line. Nothing crazy. I'm just going to take Top Notch, and what is the other shade? And Cloud 9. I don't know about you, but I like this look. It's pretty. It's nice and pinky and purple, and I freaking love pinks and purples. Okay, and for the inner corner, I guess I'm just going to take the same Come and Get It shade and just apply that on the inner corners of my eye. Let me get in a little bit closer so you guys can see the eyeshadow. So how are you guys liking the eyeshadow? I'm thinking it looks pretty good. Like I really like it. I will go ahead and put on some mascara and whatever lip color I decide to do, and I shall be right back. Okay guys, so I am back with mascara and lips on, and I guess now is the perfect time as any to go ahead and show you the swatches. So here they are. Okay, and now that the swatches and whatnot are done, I'm finally able to give you my review on these ColourPop eyeshadows. I think that they're great, like hands down. I think that these are beautiful shades. These are wonderfully formulated eyeshadows. The mattes did definitely seem a little bit more powdery than the shimmers, but like they were definitely like a really soft texture and not like a hard chalky texture. So what I would say is that the mattes, freaking love the mattes. They are just as pigmented as I would think. I know in the swatches you're going to be like, really? They're just as pigmented as you would think, but that's only because I pick up a lot more product on my finger than I do on my smudger brush. Plus, I will be using like blending brushes, so it's a whole different ball game with these. And I also have darker skin, so some of these darker shades are going to appear much darker on my skin tone when I use a brush that blends things out naturally rather than my finger, which will not. But the one thing that I would say about these shimmers is that I much rather prefer it with my finger. I'll test out and see how a wet brush does with all of these, but so far from what I can tell is that your finger is literally like the best. Like, as you could see from the swatches, like your finger gives you the best pigmentation. But other than that, I freaking love these eyeshadows. They look great, they blended great, they feel great, they are not chalky. They're slightly powdery. You can get like that sort of like, I don't know if you could see it, but like powder sort of residue, but I mean, that doesn't bother me. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this review video on these ColourPop eyeshadows. I thank you guys for tuning in again. Remember, if you like this video, please remember to like, share, comment, and especially hit that subscribe button. And remember, when we comment, we want to bring people up and not bring people down. Bye.